What's going on, guys? My name is Eldeniro and welcome to episode 8, I think, or no, it's episode 7, no, it's episode 8 maybe, of my Leicester City career mode on FIFA 15. We're starting this episode off with a game against Sunderland at the King Power Stadium, and as you saw briefly at the start of the episode, I have upped the difficulty level to Legendary following our 4-0 victory against Southampton at St Mary's, because I thought that was just too stupid a result, and if we continue on that path on World Class, we're going to finish in 4th place, and while that might be great and everything like that, it's not really challenging if I continue to do that, you know. It's not like you guys are seeing an accurate reflection of how I play FIFA or anything, so I think Legendary would be okay for now. We'll see how we get on, but that's the inspiration for my question for you guys at the start of this episode, and that's quite simply, what difficulty are you guys playing on? Because I've seen a lot of conflicting reports, I guess, on how people are finding the game, how difficult they're finding it. And as you see here, we've got a throw in on the 54th minute, and I actually changed my I changed to the receiver. I became Anthony Knockaert, receiving the ball from Simpson on the left wing, got into a position to cross. Knockaert's left-footed cross finds the head of David Nugent, who is in form and scoring a ridiculous amount of goals as he gets his 6th league goal of the season. I think it's his 7th overall in 8 games, which is a fantastic run for the England striker, and he gives us the lead, and that was pretty decent because I don't even think he had a right to win the header, and I think the keeper should have saved it. But Sunderland came on the offensive 20 minutes later with Altidore on the ball, playing it back to Jordi Gomez, former Wigan player obviously. He goes to Giaccherini on the left hand side of the pitch, who goes back to Van Aanholt, who's got 91 pace or something. Giaccherini gets round Boyata, the ball comes into Altidore, who was unmarked in the middle, and the American striker scores with what was basically his 2nd touch of the game to equalise for the visitors, which was a bit of a shame. I thought we could have done a lot better, but again, it was really difficult on Legendary, I have to be honest. It sort of makes the games a little bit more boring to play because I have to try so hard to break down the opposition defence, and they're so good with their tackles, and it feels like every time I press square or circle, it takes a second to do anything before the opponent gets a chance to put in an amazing standing tackle or interception, which they always manage to do. But Schlupp picks the ball up in the 85th minute and went on a nice little run here using his good dribbling ability to get around Coates. But again, that's what I'm talking about there. I pulled the trigger on the shot, but he didn't get the shot off, and it was intercepted by the defender and then cleared away, and Sunderland came on the offensive in the 90th minute, but Altidore hit it over the bar, and we end with a goal each and a point each as we share the spoils at the King Power Stadium. Just going back to my question, if you guys are playing on the lower difficulty, and you're like apprehensive about it, you think that makes you bad at the game, like, trust me, it really doesn't. Career mode is a really weird thing. I started my Everton career mode last season on professional difficulty and genuinely struggled for a few games, but I think you manage to bridge the gap between the difficulties of like professional to world class pretty easily. But I think from world class to legendary is a lot more of a difficult gap, I suppose. But we're playing against QPR in this game at their stadium, Loftus Road, and as you can see, like, the first chance we got was in the 45th minute, which is a testament to how difficult these games are becoming now and how more sluggish they are, especially considering that we're playing in the rain. But QPR got a corner kick just past the hour mark, and we tried to clear it with Boyata on the ball. He got dispossessed by Sandro, who floated in a really nice cross towards Zamora, whose shot was saved, and the rebound comes to Armand Traore, who scored for the hosts and runs over to celebrate. And I was really disappointed at this because Armand Traore shouldn't be scoring against anybody in the Premier League, but it wasn't even against the run of play, you know. It was just a nothing game by this point. Nothing was going on, and the goal seemed to really raise QPR's spirits, and they attacked more and more, and just 5 minutes after going a goal up, they came, and look how jammy that is from Young on the left hand side. He plays it into Adel Tarabt, who got into a decent position, but his finesse shot went wide of the post. Then we had a chance 3 minutes later with Mackay-Steven charging forward, and you can see the rain on the pitch is really starting to take its toll. But Mackay-Steven cuts inside, and I should have finessed that, but I've sort of lost faith in finesse shots on the game. I feel like they tend to veer drastically wide unless you tap it lightly, but that's difficult to do from distance. We got one more chance in the 90th minute with Drinkwater being reduced to a shot from distance. It went over, and we ended up losing that game 1-0, which was a real shame because Martin Tyler did mention in the pre-commentary build-up that QPR had lost 3 games in a row, and we were looking to capitalise on that, but it wasn't to be. And when it rains, as it did at Loftus Road, it pours, because we found that David Nugent is going to miss 8 weeks of action with a torn, long-worded injury, which are the worst kind of injuries. If you can't pronounce it, it's bad news, you know what I mean? Like, no one's ever had a good metatarsal injury. So here's the squad report on the screen. You guys can have a look at it. I'm fairly happy with how the squad is so far, but there are some little things that are kind of annoying me, such as Richie Delat being homesick and Daniel Drinkwater feeling threatened. He's felt threatened since day one. He came to me like in the first episode and he was like, "Oh boss, all this speculation, blah 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 blah." He's been in the first team. He has been a consistent feature of our first team, and he's still feeling bad. So I don't know what this emotional bullshit that EA have put into the game, what kind of toll it's going to take over the course of the season, but I'd really appreciate it if my players' morale wouldn't be so it wouldn't be so elastic, I suppose, in its tendency to bounce from Drinkwater going from feeling sad to never ever feeling happy again, and that's really annoying, I guess, if that makes any sense whatsoever. But my initial thoughts on Legendary are that it's difficult, but I can definitely do it, and I think it's going to open the season up a little bit and make it more challenging for me, and I think hopefully that will make it more interesting for you guys. So let me know what you think. I don't want to go back to World Class now, because I feel as though the longer I spend on this, the more sort of capable of performing I will become as we go to Villa Park to take on Aston Villa next. And you can see they've got a decent team as well. Benteke up front with Vyman and Nzogbia, obviously. Nzogbia is a player I really rate on career mode. I actually sort of wished I signed him. But something else I was going to say was that if I go back to World Class, I'll finish in a really high league position, and then next season the board will want more of me. Whereas if I try my hand at Legendary now and consistently improve as the season goes on, I reckon I'll definitely avoid relegation. That'll keep the board happy, and then next season we'll have something to build on, because I did plan on this being a long spanning series on my channel. But as you can see, we're all over Villa here. In the first 20 minutes we've had 2 concrete chances from Gary Mackay-Steven, and then in the 21st minute we got another chance as Bakunia failed to clear properly. The ball bounced off a Villa player and Yajoa's shot went wide, but Bakayoko got injured, which meant we had to bring on Schlupp and play him at left back, which was quite annoying because I don't ever play him at left back. I feel like it's wasting him there because he's so good going forward. Not so good at finishing as such, but he's very good at playing pivotal parts in the build-up play, and that's something that I really appreciate. But Andy King had a shot in the 29th minute, but unfortunately his volley was unleashed a little bit too close to the goalkeeper, which resulted in a corner from which naturally nothing came. But we conceded a free kick in a stupid position on the right hand side of the pitch, which Ashley Westwood ended up swinging in for Aston Villa. He swings it in towards Fabian Delph, but it was headed on towards Benteke, who headed it over Kasper Schmeichel in the Leicester City goal, who did nothing to keep the ball out, and Villa take the lead with what was literally their first shot of the game. This is how the halftime stats looked, and I was thinking, like, come on lads, you're taking the piss here. Do you know what I mean? 61% possession, 7 shots versus their 39% possession and 1 shot. But Villa came out of the gate at the start of the second half in really high spirits, looking to build on their 1-goal advantage, and that caused a little bit of a problem for us in defence. As you see, Fabian Delph gets on the end of what would have been a really unorthodox assist, but thankfully his header went wide, and Villa came on the offensive again on the hour mark with Benteke on the ball. His shot was saved, and Wes Morgan calmly passes it out of defence so that we could attempt to build on it. We come up to the 90th minute, nothing happening for us going forward. Our first half form had completely dwindled, and a deflected shot from Chris Wood went out for a corner kick, and we tried to keep the pressure alive. We were playing all out attack, and they had parked the bus with Danny Simpson on the right hand side. His cross found Chris Wood, whose header hit the woodwork, and we end the game with a 1-0 defeat. So Legendary so far, played 3 games, 1-0. We drew 1 and then we lost 2, in which we failed to find the net. And again, like I said, when it rains it pours. Bakayoko is going to be out for 3 months, which isn't too much of a hindrance because we do have Richie Delat, who I've been playing at left back despite him being a right back. We've also got Konchesky, who can come into that role, and Jeffrey Schlupp, who I'm very apprehensive about playing in that role because, like I say, his attacking prowess is something to be admired and something that we need in the team going forward. But that's the end of this episode. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you think about the difficulty levels and how you're getting on, though, because I am genuinely interested to see that, because I like how people experience FIFA differently, and sometimes a different outlook on it can change your perception of the game in general. So do feel free to leave a comment, and also leave a like if you enjoyed the video. That would be awesome. Your support so far has been absolutely tremendous, and I really appreciate it. I've been El Dinero. Thanks for watching.